Welcome everybody. Welcome. Another day, another evening, Sunday evening, the 15th. Uh, word on the Ave. You already know what it is.
Hold on real quick. Live.
All right, all right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Another night, Sunday evening. It's another episode of Word on the Ave. I got my partners with me. Got the gang with me. Want to let them know what's up. Y'all
What's good, man? It's your boy Randy, aka the ignorant, eclectic, mad genius.
What it do? What it do? We live pre-quarantine, y'all. Pre-quarantine.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, turn this shit down. Y'all know who I am, Corey.
The infamous.
Co- Corey, the fly in the ointment. You know what I'm saying? That big water spit on the side of the pavement. Shit make you sick. That's me. We back with another episode, man. You see the title. Hold on, let me get this shared. You already know the routine. Got to go through on Facebook, get this sent out to the people. But you see the title, stuff came to my mind today. It is why do many Black independent businesses struggle to expand? Here we are, like you already know, like we just did the past episode. Um, yeah, like we just did the past episode. Discussing dependency, the coronavirus, everything like that. We're in you know, we're looking forward to different things. We're anticipating, trying to prepare ourselves just in case, some crazy shit happens. They start already shutting down schools, a lot of workplaces, a lot of everything. They already had a situation. Had a situation over in Champaign, Illinois, uh, where they initially they dropped a executive order shutting down the whole city. Sell even sells firearms, you know what I'm saying, transactions, private businesses and everything. Then they came out with a statement saying it's all a lie, even though the initial one came from their website. Uh, but Italy's already going. Italy's already going through all of this right now. Um, so a lot of it's going. It's changing. It's already changed the quality of life. You go to the grocery store, there's not a damn thing there. At the grocery stores, schools are shut down. Schools are shut down, so the kids are at home. They're saying it's at least 8 weeks now. They're saying it could be for the rest of the school year. That's a that's a burden. That's a burden on the parent. Especially dealing with daycare. But then on top of that, a lot of workplaces already shut down. But it could be whether it's citywide or nationwide, it's still bad. And to the people who are already you know to people that are already going through it, they're having to deal with that right now. They put some funds to the side. I guess they're trying to have a stimulus package, something like unemployment to pay, keep everybody paid. But I wonder if they're gonna be able to make that happen. I wonder if they're gonna be able to make that happen, especially for let's see how many people working. Let's just estimate and say about
Uh,
200 million out of
yeah,
325 or 175. Being able to pay, what I'm saying, be able to supplement a person's income,
yeah.
being able to supplement their income for that amount of time. I mean, and multiply that by, like I said, let's just do a hundred. I said 1,000, 100 million. Let's just do 100 million. That's get your calculator, do the math your damn self. Um, so this is it's a hindrance, man. It's hell. So with that, like we've talked about, you got to be able to move outside of the system, and one of these ways is creating your own opportunities, creating your own jobs, creating your own commerce, transactions within each other.
Support one
And
another.
and a lot of it is and that best way to do it is through independent, commerce, independent
Mm-hmm.
business. But the numbers show, it's been reported that, and it's mainly black business, because you already know our history within this country. So that what effect that's had on us as as a whole, what I'm saying, as a generalized. There's a lot of people rising up out there doing the damn thing, but you see the craters, you see the effects that it's had on us as well. If you look at the some of the numbers, it's estimated that around 90% of black businesses don't have any employees. Don't have any employees. It's run solely by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
from person to person. I believe a lot of I believe the best way to get the stuff to expand, get your business expand, is have a lot of boots on the ground, because if something happens to you, that can slow you down. That can throw you out the game. Somebody else could step in your place. All type of things like that. For most of these business, there's not a lot of boots on the ground. Not a lot of boots on the ground. It's just that person, operating and getting their own and whatnot.
Yes,
And
sir.
there's so much opportunity. Like I said, you can find somebody you could trust in, things like that. So expansion. Why are black businesses struggling to expand? Tell me what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Get it nationwide. I'm with Tiff's Treats. I'm with a delivery service called Tiff's Treats. Started in a college dorm. A white woman and a
They're not
Asian
sponsored.
man got married. Started in a college dorm, and they've just multiplied. Started here, and they got about 15, 16 locations here in Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're pushing it. They got it. They started in what's the capital? What's the damn capital of Texas? Y'all know?
The capital of Texas. I can find
Oh
out.
man, y'all niggas was asleep in school, man. What was y'all doing, man?
It's Austin, ain't it?
Austin, that's what it was. I knew it started with an A, man. I knew it started with an A. Austin. Yeah, it started in Austin, and it's
You was
here.
right.
It's here, here, Austin, Houston, and they even got it in Atlanta. It's expanding. They're able to pay us a nice, nice wage. Why isn't black business expanding? Why do we not see this like that? Or is there? I'm pretty sure there's some, like is Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. I think that's ran by black folks. There's one down here, if I'm right.
Roscoe's Chicken Waffles ran by black folks. I mean, it's owned by black
Is
folks.
it? I don't
think
know.
so, but
I'm under the impression that I heard Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I might have to look that up, but I don't feel like going through the browser.
Nah, it is. It's owned by black people.
Well, there's a Roscoe's down here, so there's there's anomalies within it all, you know what I'm saying, some that are able to make it happen. But why aren't we seeing it more, especially if we already know how the government is and stuff like this, and we understand how the system works? Why aren't we expanding?
Lauren, I have to let you go first.
I think one of the things I was thinking about this as you were talking, and one of the things that kind of, I guess, is really a question, not an answer, and not anything I need answered, but is it the type of businesses that we're running?
That's true too. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I mean, think about like if you're an entrepreneur, but you're a content creator. You know what I'm saying? Unless you talk about networking with other content creators, and then y'all putting something together, like, you're more looking for clients. You're not looking for employees.
Uh-huh.
And I guess it gets to a point where you can't handle your own workload, and then you have to either outsource, you have to bring somebody in you can employ to take certain things off your plate. So I think the first thing I would look at and say, I think in a lot of cases the entrepreneurial industries that we're in, maybe there's not a necessity to add people. I think another side of it is a lack of education.
Yep,
You
that's where
know,
I was gonna go.
understanding, things like, tax laws, understanding employment laws, and things of that nature. I think that's some of it. Everybody, you got, let's take a beautician. You know, uh, you know, she doesn't. Maybe they think they got to do, you know, everything out of the house because they don't want to rent a chair, not realizing they can write all their expenses for the chair rental off at the end of the year. You know, or as hell. I mean, if you working from home, there's parts of your house you can write off. Like I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of it is an educational thing.
It used to be.
You know what?
That law has changed.
That's
Because
true. Yeah,
because
yeah. Because I know insurance people used to try to do that shit a lot. But
yeah.
as long as you came to sign your contracts are signed in a house, you could write off, a room or so, a certain amount of square footage in your house as a business.
Yes,
sir. And then I think the other side is just, being cheap.
When you said law about a minute ago, do we gotta necessarily pay attention to the law?
Yes, because in my opinion, yes.
Remember why?
Because man, if you we can say we can go by their laws, but we don't have to follow them. We have to follow them if you don't want to go to jail. You can go to jail quick, fast, and in a hurry if you dodging them laws like certain people do. You're not that same person. So you're not in that level of person. So you can't dodge them laws. You have to go by the law because you are pretty much a startup. So yeah, you have to go by them laws.
I don't know, quote unquote, that I necessarily agree that you have to follow the law. I think it's maybe it's the type of business again that you're in that would dictate that.
Would it be easier? Would it be easier to follow the law? Because look, keep in mind how a lot of businesses now are running credit. They understand that IRS is always watching the ends you make, the deposits, things like that. So they're gonna ask questions, especially if you're talking about expanding. They're gonna start asking questions eventually.
More questions,
yeah.
And you can't just be out here with your phone and that little, that I got the little swiper chip thing or swipe your card and all that. Take your card payment. I got that, but unless you're doing cash, they're trying to move away from cash, but it's still around. Unless you're doing cash and under the table, So what is it? And that's just one law right there. There might be other exploits and things that could get you caught up, whatever. But
now, when I came with that information, I'm coming from talking to CPAs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because laws and like stuff that I've looked up, and laws have changed every day. That you have to stay upon if you're in any business, honestly, because these tax laws, there's loopholes. Don't get me wrong, but you have to know. You have to know the direction to go. You can't be moving like Bill Gates and all these Fortune 500 companies. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to everything. But go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah. I also think it's just really, for me, it's super duper important just to be educated. Even if you don't plan on abiding by the law, you need to understand what trouble you can get into by ignoring. That's why I use the phrase education. You know what I'm saying? To understand, legal tax loops, things of that nature. That could benefit your business. And I do think that sometimes it's just being cheap. you know, and not really understanding. Hey, if I have let's take a clothing designer that has, you know, a little pop up shop, you know, in Westport or something like that. Now, if you could pay somebody to be at the shop, they understand, you know, how to sell your merchandise and things like that. So you could be out in the streets really, you know, promoting your brand,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So now you kind of got two people doing the same thing because you got your clientele that's coming in the shop. And then you're out, you know, doing double duty, you know what I'm saying, by promoting your brand. And I would say, lastly, I think we depend on people we know. So our businesses just don't grow. And that's just being honest, you know. You asking, you know, your mom, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, your uncles, those are family. Families should never be how you trying to grow your brand. Like, I'm just gonna keep asking my family about my stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting outside and understanding, you know, the market that you're in and how you should be targeting, like what people and what groups you should be targeting. You know, we steady asking the people that we know because we're afraid to get out of our comfort zone, you
That's
know,
true.
and approach somebody that we don't know, you know, or figure out, you know, who we need to talk to help us market. Because a lot of businesses that grow, you know, is by word of mouth one way or another, you know, whether it's an individual that buys from you or, you know, whether it's just, you know, networking. You know, networking is a huge thing right now. You know, you networking is probably one of the biggest ways to grow your brand. Is it just networking? You know, you get other people talking about you. You know, it's no different than bartering. You know, you do this for me, I do this for that. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. So it's just way too many ways to spin it to have a concrete way. Because I mean, I don't, without really looking at the data. Yes, we look at Black businesses and why they are, you know, basically the business owner is the employee. I would go out on a limb though and say, you know, I would want to understand the data from any other race, you know, and understand, because, you know, you go into a Chinese store, that kid might be working there. You know what I'm saying? The kid just might be getting, you know, some lunch money or, you know, some spending change and stuff, but you really wouldn't consider him an actual associate. You know, the main employees are the mother and the father, you know, or just one of them, or, you know, things of that nature. So I'd have to understand, you know, and I apologize for not really doing the research prior to, but I would have to understand outside of rich white guys, you know what I'm saying, that own, you know, major corporations, franchises, and things like that. You know, is it really a Black issue, or is it just the issue of, you know, the continued monopolization by those who already got shit? Now, you asked the question earlier about, you know, do you have to do it the legal way? Nah, man, fucking, you know, bootlegging. You know what I'm saying? Go back to the bootlegging days.
We don't promote
you know
that,
what I'm
but
saying?
yes, he's right.
That shit wasn't legal.
That's true. You right.
Yeah, so I mean, but you know, you circumvent. You know, you play by the rules when you have to, and then, you know, you circumvent on the other side. You know, and so I don't think you have to follow the rules. You know, I think that, you know, if you're not gonna follow the rules, you know, keep your mouth closed.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Don't put your business out in the streets, you know, and that's a problem for us from time to time. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers don't know, but I'm doing this shit on the side, and it's like, well, you just told somebody and you don't even know what the fuck it is. So now you don't know if they gonna go put your business out in the street, and before you know it, you're getting fucking hot at it, and now you fucked.
Yep. Let me jump in a bag real quick. Jameer said, "What's good, Jameer, aka the clergyman? Long time,
What's going on?
Long time
about
no
them
see.
Sixers, man."
He said, "Whoa, great info about tax." Yeah, we're not tax people. We just three brothers that have an opinion about taxes. You know what I'm saying? And yes, you should pay your taxes because Uncle Sam is watching. But yeah, so let me go ahead and take it to the dark side of this conversation. So now we're talking about Black people, right? We're talking about brothers and sisters. So we see one person make it, and then that one person might have somebody that person might get a storefront. Let's just say it's a scenario. He or she gets a storefront. That storefront starts doing amazing, good. You know what I'm saying? They start getting consistent people coming in. You know what I'm saying? Talking about their brands going on, growing on social media, and in the back there's somebody that's always on your, or there's somebody that's always never really liked you, but has always been quiet. And we see it every time. We see it every time, especially they say why do black brands not stay in the hoods? Because we see the owner of the brand end up dying in his or her store. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen it multiple different times over the last 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? So
it's been longer than that. But there's been a lot of documented ones over the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Even if you go to Akintunde Nation, go to YouTube channel Akintunde Nation. He's got a whole he's got a whole little series that he does on his YouTube channel called "Why Brothers Don't Start Businesses in the Hood." But yeah, shit, we know some in the town. You know, so yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so it's things like that will stop brothers and sisters from actually doing stuff in their neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? And building in their neighborhoods to where that building and that brand will become profitable for their people. You know what I'm saying? Because they can hire people and stuff like that. And so it's just like what you killing off the leaders because you're not a leader. You know what I'm saying? It's just a revolving door. And it happens every time. And if you believe that I'm wrong, go ahead and let me know now. You know what I'm saying? Or let me know later on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even entering into the dark side of everything. You know what I'm saying? Because your friends could backstab you. Simple,
well, go ahead and take us in there, bro. Take us in the dark side, man. Don't hold back.
No, I mean, like I said, your friends could be the one that's backstabbing you. You know what I'm saying? Skimming money off the top because you wanna instead of getting a CPA or somebody who's actually went to school for doing your books and doing your branding and stuff like that, you want to keep it all in house. And those people are skimming. Even though, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say all CPAs, but CPAs do be skimming money off top. But see, they skim money from you without you knowing. You know what I'm saying? They book stuff for you without you even knowing, and collect money, collect that money, and then leave you in a bad position. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that will stop brothers and sisters from really growing like that, because you get a bad name, and once you get a bad name, people talk bad about you. So yeah.
Do you think part of the problem is because with things like that, you see, we as black people, we don't want to start, we don't want to do like white folks and shit like that, and we don't want to go firing anybody or things like that. But is there a lack of something like so to say a point system? But when it comes to like that, now you got that whole thing, like money and stuff like that. Is not even point system. Is there a disciplinary system, and are we not getting stuff in writing?
Ooh, you said, are we not
feeling?
Yeah.
Are we relying on word?
On word? Yeah, because before I jump into that, you know what I'm saying, I want to shout out to Grant real quick for sharing the content, man. Shout out to you, Grant. But yeah, man. Honestly, like I understand people like word is born, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we don't live in that time no more. People, you can tell somebody one thing and it can go in one ear and out the other, and then they can literally screw you over in your business. That's just how I see it, honestly.
Yeah.
And so like you have to. They have this shit on your phone now where you can type in a document, and you can have them put their name in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's all on paper. So it's legal. Yeah. It's all legal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because technically, if it's not on paper, it does not count. If you try to take them to the court of law, you lose every time because it is your word versus their word. But I'm just an average guy, so yeah, you know.
I ain't following the question though.
from Corey.
The
Yeah.
initial question.
Now the question around what Randy's talking about right now is it, word of
So pretty much
nothing on paper.
contracts. Corey's
Contract.
Yeah, Corey was talking about the
Contractual.
contracts.
Yeah, contractual. We're not holding each other to contractual agreements. It's something that can be signed, penned. You can do anything. It can be a sheet of paper. You know what I'm saying? It could be a
Give me an
sheet of
example
paper.
of what
You
you're
know
trying to say
whatnot.
though.
Okay, all right. So let's just say me, you, let's just say we all starting a business, right? And let's just same scenario, it's just two different outcomes. I send you guys a virtual email that has Corey, Randy, and Lauren will be starting blah blah blah. Sign here, and Lauren sign here, Corey sign here, right? So that way, if something was to happen, and let's just say we have to break up the business, the money, like and we have to talk to each other to negotiate the contract and stuff like that. You have your document, Corey has his document, I have my document, so that way we'll all split up. We'll all split up and we'll all get our equal shares of the of whatever we created. So
I don't know about that one.
And then the second one, the second part of it is, let's just say we did the same scenario, but we're doing it all verbally. It's all verbal. Something happens, and let's just say somebody takes it to the court of law. It's your word, my word, and it's literally gonna be in the air. Honestly.
Yes, I don't think there's a lot of that. I'll be honest with you, man. I think that I don't think a lot of people are collaborating. I don't think a lot of black people are collaborating on that level.
Yeah,
and I'm just being honest.
But even with that, there would be that's where the word of mouth versus contractual. Because if you do contractual, a smart person would make those designations. They'd have that paperwork for the business. You know what I'm saying? The whether it's the copyright. They have everything, and then they'd be able to make that that distinction. You know what I'm saying, through the label on the paperwork on who owns what. You know what I'm saying? Who's the sole owner, or what percentage this person owns, or stuff like that. And they could get handled through, if you got to, like I said, that's where you take it to, the legal proceedings. That's if you're doing it, if you're doing stuff behind the scenes, that's the downfall right there. You're gonna have a problem trying to get that done, but.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that I don't think a lot of businesses have been formed on the premise of a partnership, or whatever the case may be. I think it's individuals starting businesses. So I don't ever think that it gets to the point where you have to get to that. Like, the business doesn't commence with multiple individuals. Is what I'm saying. I understand. That's why I asked the clarification. I don't think it's. I don't think that. I guess to answer a part of that question, I don't think that we collaborate well because we are afraid to trust each other. And then when you bring paper into it, that makes people even more slow to want to continue to move. So I will say that much, but steel sharpens steel, so if you're going to go into business with somebody, like, it's no different than a relationship, like, boyfriend, girlfriend, where you would want everybody bringing something equal to the table. I don't want to put up 75% of the business, but we sharing the profit. Like, if I'm putting up 75, I'm getting three-fourths, and you're gonna get the other quarter. Because that's what you invested into the business. You know, now let's say for instance you decide or you put in your quarter, but then all of a sudden, you know, a lot of the revenue is coming in from you, even though you just put up a quarter. Then go
Mm-hmm.
renegotiate. Be like, all right, I'm getting ready to invest more into the business because I now want to be a 50-50 partner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but again, it's still sharp and still, you're already gonna have an understanding that that may happen if you the dude that put in 3 quarters. Now, should you get it up, and that shit you don't need to get on paper until the time comes. You want to get the 3 quarter, and then when the time comes where somebody says, "Hey, you know, I want to invest more into the business. I want to become a 50-50 partner,"
Mm-hmm.
then you go back to the paperwork and you draw up the paperwork that says, my bad, that we are now 50-50 partners, you know, and then yeah, so I mean paper is super important. I'm not even gonna front and say it's not. uh I just don't know if that's what that would be a reason to point at businesses, quote unquote, maybe, you know, black businesses not expanding from a employee standpoint, you know. I think it's really
Well,
because
yeah,
like I look.
maybe that was the wrong, but just yeah, employees was just a big, probably a big, you know, it's kind of like a catalyst, but just expanding in general, just a
Yeah.
larger expansion in general.
Now here's one thing, and I want to speak on this. I was actually excited when this topic came out
Uh-huh.
because my sister actually,
Shout out to
you
you.
know, she owns a company called 79 Rows,
Mm-hmm.
and so she yesterday actually had uh, a networking event for Black female entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one of the ladies that came, that's like, I guess apparently like a big wig for some corporate company. She approached my sister and she said, "There's no Black women in Kansas City doing this, not one."
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so what you're offering right now to anybody, whether it's somebody that has their own business or somebody that just wants to come and get educated, uh, you know, nobody's doing this. You know, nobody has a catering company come out. You know what I'm saying? You know, nobody has scheduled speakers on a time schedule. You know, nobody has a setup like this. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that goes back to the whole preparing yourself professionally in the right ways. Because her caterer was my cousin, who's trying to start a catering company and is dope and is just looking for opportunity. So she took that and was like, "Hey, let me put you on to something that I'm doing. You know, bring your business cards, get your business cards off and everything like that, and see what opportunities it opens up." You
Yeah.
know, and so you know, I'm like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? If you getting people that can get the word out, you know, then I'm like, you need to look at, okay, I got to strike now. Iron's hot. I got to strike. You know, and we do have a tendency to be afraid to follow up. You know, like, you know, if we'll use music. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's say you do your first little concert, 50 people come.
Yeah.
You know, you need to have a sign in sheet. You know what I'm saying? When people walk in the door, you need to have a sign in sheet. Why? Because at the end of the night, after you thanked all your people for coming out, you need to follow up with an email. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like, man, your stuff is dope, man. Like, when is the next one? I got your email address. I'm gonna send you the information, because what that does is that shows a level of commitment to your existing audience.
Yeah.
You have an existing audience that's showing a level of commitment by saying, "I appreciate you. I want to communicate with you." You
Yeah.
know, and that 50 turns into 100 at your next event. And then at your third event, that 100 could potentially turn into anywhere from 300 to 1,000. And you see, it's those numbers. But again, you got to keep putting yourself out there. Now, let's say your third show, you only have 100 people come, so you didn't went super chubby, and you didn't get the turnout that you wanted. But you still had 150 people. So if you expected 5, but you only got 150,
yeah,
you still got to do the same thing that you did with the very first one.
Mm-hmm.
You can't allow that disappointment and what your expectations were versus your results to bring you down to be like, well, this shit ain't gonna last. And I guess I gotta go on to the next thing, the next hustle. You know what I'm saying? When you present your business like a hustle, there's a problem with that. Because people think that you just there for that one moment. When you present your business as a hustle, when you present it as a business and a real entity, it don't matter if they hood or if they not. They take you more seriously. You know what I'm saying? I don't let the homie slide in through the back door. I got security at the back door because I thought that might happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you got to come through the front. You got to pay. Now, the ones that fall off, they weren't going to invest in you anyway. But everybody else is like, all right, man, I come through the front door. I'm going to pay my bread. You know what I'm saying? You got to present yourself as a business. You can't present your shit as a hustle. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a hustle, people gonna treat you like it's a hustle, and they're gonna be like, man, I ain't with it this time. But if you present it like a business and you make it real, the ambiance when they show up, you know what I'm saying, gets them in some type of a positive mood, then they gonna want to come back. That helps elevate your brand, because like we always say here, tell a friend to tell a friend. They gonna go out and tell 4 or 5 friends, hey, next time roll with me. This shit was dope. You know what I'm saying? You need to roll. You know what I'm saying? If you can't pay for it, I'll cover your end. Or I see if they can offer a group discount if all 5 of us show. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And I'll put it up. So that's just my 2 cents. I take my change back. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. Yo, that's what it is. That's the mechanics. That's the mechanics of it.
My boy was dropping gems right there.
And I like that you brought up the main part. I'm gonna break down that part of investing. You see, it takes a certain type of cut of a person, and a lot of that comes within. We talk about how
real quick.
A lot of people, we talk about how, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times black people get profiled and stuff like that, and they look at each of us the same and can't tell us apart. You know what I'm saying? That's people in general. Black people do the same motherfucking thing. They make the same problem. You just sometimes, that's what interviews and, job applications, stuff like that is to set so different characteristics, whether it's in your personality, your voice inflection, your damn face, whatever it is, to set different things apart that, you know what I'm saying, appeal to the person that's doing the hiring process, right? So you got to be able to make that type of discernment on the person, because we look at on Facebook and all that shit, how many times we see people making the same bad fucking decisions. They talking about, bitches are bad, men are trash, and all of that, you know what I'm saying? Niggas are trash. And, that's all they deal with. That's all they deal with, because they don't have a set of, I guess, rules, you know what I'm saying? Different thing, a checklist, different things. It's like, you doing stuff like that, you do certain things, it shows the bigger picture of a person. It's a microcosm of bigger things to come, and a lot of times tend to ignore those things. This conversation came up. When I formed this topic, this conversation came up because, at work, and let's have a conversation. We're talking about the NFL CBA and the whole deal going on with that. We're talking about the players, them going out, the running backs, how they they got a short career and going out, earning they money. And it started talking about Emmitt Smith, so I respect that, love that he was one of the best ones, is able to hold up his whole career and stay healthy, started talking about Adrian Peterson and how he was able to bounce back from an ACL. This is where it ties in. First thing he said was like, yeah, AD was a bad boy. It's messed up. That boy went broke. You know what I'm saying? He low on money. Spent all the money up. And we started getting into talking about the different things that lead to the money drying up. And one of the main things you saw with multiple, you know what I'm saying, NBA players, you know what I'm saying, NBA players and football players. And
Antoine.
Yeah, and majority of times it's usually, you know what I'm saying, it's not to say it doesn't happen in other races, but you're going to see it. You're going to see it as a black person, especially coming from the hood. You definitely going to see that shit because there's desperation around them motherfuckers. That's why they always able to find a rapper that's willing to sell out because they trying to get out of that situation. So you're going to see this because we see this shit, and that's just all us working a job. You know what I'm saying? Working a job and paying the bills and keeping everything and keeping money saved up. And they looking at you like, hey, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You can't help me. This, that, you know, you got it. I'm like, man, I'm one trip in the fall from being there with you, brother. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know my response to that when people say that to me?
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah. But I ain't gonna explain. Yeah, like I ain't even gonna explain all that. I ain't even gonna explain nothing to him. Like, fool, nah. You know what I'm saying? Either yay or nay. If I ain't got I ain't got it, boy. But I'm sitting there thinking, I'm not that far off from, you know what I'm saying, from being where you at. You know, it takes sickness and stuff like that, being out an extended amount of time, whatever, and keep saved up. But you find out, especially when certain things happen, that money starts to dry up fast. Especially this shit gets expensive out here, especially something like medical. What you about to say?
I was trying to preface. So pretty much how they don't. All right. So the educational system back in the day, till this day, right now, people weren't really. Those guys weren't really raised on money. So once they got a big stack amount of money, they don't know how to spend it, or they don't not spend it, but they know how to spend it. Trust and believe. But they don't know how to watch all their money. They rely on other people to watch their money. That's why that's why I brought the CPA stuff and all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So. But yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to take over.
No, y'all good. No, I'm gonna link it back together. So what you have is one of the main things is, like you said, money. Of course, them not watching their money and things like that, making bad purchases, managers and things like that. But a lot of that is when you start getting people, you know, your people, your family, start having family, you know what I'm saying? People love you. You want to always look at, hey, this is going to cost $1,500. You know what I'm saying? This going to cost, I just need $1,500. I'm going to get kicked out, something like that. It's going to be something the next time. And then the first time you say no, you know, they looking at you crazy. And not allowing you to do what you do. So my first thing I said, I had money like that. I'm telling you off the flip. It's not going to be that. If you around me, you receive that, you're going to have a job to do. You always, it's never going to be, you know what I'm saying? That I can use discernment to say, you know, I may do this, that, but I'm going to let it be known. Hey, don't make this a habit. Don't make it a habit, because next time I'm going to say, no, nigga. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you emphatically. But the majority of the time I come to you with anything, it's going to be, you know, you want this or that, you want to be around, you're going to have a damn job to do.
Hey, I don't let people borrow money.
Yeah, right. That's the quickest way. That's the quickest way to lose friends and fall out.
I don't let people borrow money. Hey, if I got it and I'm willing to give it,
you got it.
I'm just giving it to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, I have zero expectations that you gonna give it back. Because if you had to borrow it, it's gonna be harder for you to give it back.
Right, you didn't have it to begin with. That's why that's the quickest way to lose friends and stuff like that is borrowing money. But also you can kind of set up traps on motherfuckers, see what they about. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know a motherfucker ain't going. Let me see if he gonna give it back. You know what I'm saying? I got it. And let me see if he gonna call on the day he does this or that. You know, but so you got that. You got that. It's But yeah, a lot of people they think you got money. They think you got money and this and that, and they want to they want to keep coming back. They want to keep coming back to the well. It's like if you want to eat like this, like I said, if you want to eat good, be out there live lavish things, shit like that, you got to work for it. You got to get the job, and I'll put you in the game. This is one of the problems. This is what happens, and this the next point I brought up is most niggas want to be the boss. Mm-hmm. We got this. Everybody got a boss. When I say niggas, I'm talking about men and women, black folks. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to. We're more than niggas, but I'm calling y'all niggas today because it's just the lingo. So don't get offended. Like, why are you don't get offended. We all want to be boss. We all got that. I got to be a boss mentality, stuff like that. You saw with. And a lot of it is because of our interactions with each other, and we don't want to be the one that's being laughed at because black folks will laugh at each other. That's why you saw the situation with Megan Thee Stallion. Even though she's not independent, they saying she can't put it out her album. She's saying I'm independent. Right. I can do what I want. I've always been independent. I was Megan Thee Stallion before. The record label. I was making but you needed the record label to elevate you. Rapping at the school is not the same as rapping, at the Madison Square Garden or something like that. So that was an ignorant statement by that. But we play this WWE type of character. So everybody wants to be a boss and nobody wants to play the position. Keep in mind, we'll sit up there, we'll have jobs, we'll create jobs with each other. I've seen people deal with this. Have a job opportunity for a person, and now all of a sudden they come into them talking about, I want half. Like, why can't I do half? Or you showing me why you get this much? Why you get this much and I only get this much? Just like you said, fool, you ain't invested to this. Like that should be simple common sense. But we have everybody wants to be boss. Everybody wants to, hey, look at me. You know what I'm saying? They get to talking about it around their friends. They're not going to tell the whole story. Like they tell their friends, yeah, we got a business together, me and my partner, instead of, yeah, I work for them. You don't want to say, we don't want to have a level of, what is it, humility or just practicality to say, hey, I'm working for my partner. You know what I'm saying? I'm working for my partner because you're not going to challenge. You're not going to go to McDonald's. You see, your partner's able to break you off more, because he's doing his own private thing and, say stuff like that. And he may not be as greedy as the next one, and he may be able to break you off more. We're talking about people who was making 40. I'm talking about true story, making about $30, $40 an hour. $30 to $40 an hour when they sit down to do the math, but people ain't doing the math. They know how to break, get their money with the drugs and have their money. Well, I don't know, not everybody, because a lot of motherfuckers spend their re-up and then be looking, hey, man, can you look out for me? I'm $50 short. Like, man, get the fuck out of my face, dog. And then now they want to go rob the plug because the plug ain't fucking with him because this fool couldn't, come up with his damn re-up. You know what I'm saying? So they can't do that simple math and do the math in their head, but they'll go, they'll go to a warehouse, bust their ass, and they won't go challenge. They won't go at Amazon. People at Amazon won't go challenge Jeff Bezos talking about, hey, I want to make half now. I want to make half. Because, still employees got to be paid, equipment, different things like that. And then on top of that, it's the investment that it made within it. It's the investment. And so that's one of the biggest things I'm talking about in dealing with black folks trying to put our people on. That's where the discernment comes in, and you got to get the right person to make sure that they understand these type of things. That's just in your everyday conversation that they understand and never forget this type of thing. Now, on the flip side, when you start talking about the boss's damn self, like you said, investment. Here's one way that it could work, because the same person that was at the business, they brought up someone wanted to go half and half with them, and they was like, man, that sounds weird. And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, up to that point, I had never thought about that. Is a person who's, who's an employee, who you got as employee or whatnot, you got them working for you, and they want to go half and half. Like you said, that's up to y'all two if you want to do that. That's up to the owner if they want to do that with you, as to help expand. His idea, what he said is, we go ahead, do this and that. Now, keep in mind, when you're the owner, you got to have tabs on everything. So you should have tabs on everything if you're running your business. Mm-hmm. So you're going to know. I don't care if a person's out there making money on the side, especially even in the name. Better be representing the name. Now, somebody comes calling and different things like that, talking about something happened, this and that, and it was somebody of yours. Now it's got to be addressed. It's got to be addressed. That's all you got to do, is you got to address it from there. But if you want to make money on the side, that's on him, because what you're going to have is a certain amount of stock that you're going to give this person, to whether it's sale or you're going to have something that you're going to give this person. You're going to expect, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you may expect, whatever amount back. Same way, drug game, you know what I'm saying? All of that. You may expect that product back. You may expect the certain amount of production from that person. Whatever they do on their own time is between them. And so that's how you solve that. But what he did, he said he wanted to get hired on. He get hired on, and then what he does is from the proceeds and from the money, take money out. I want to buy into it. So there's a set amount that's that smart. Out of each time there's a payment transaction. You say no, Lauren? You say no? Each time. Oh, you're on mute.
You're on mute. There you go.
My bad. Nah, finish, because I wanna approach that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So each time there's money being taken out. See, this is for the person that doesn't have the same, that wasn't able to invest it with you. Like I said, this is all dependent on if the person who's the founder owner wants to allow you the opportunity, if they feel it's beneficial to them, that they like, okay, yeah, I want you to do this. I want you to have this opportunity. So I'll take this much out of your check each time, this certain amount, and you try to be transparent, keep receipts, different things like that. That's one way to do it. And like I said, just keep that and have it in writing, do the math, and up to this point, you may say, I want you to pay this much, and as much as I invested $50,000 into this. So until you get to $25,000, I'll deduct this much out of your check, and I'll give you, the rest of that. You know what I mean? So if let's say you were getting $40 an hour, now it's basically going to be like $25 an hour, because he wants $15 on every $40 that you get. You know what I'm saying? So you're still going to be that understanding. You're going to have that system set up. But the problem is, a lot of people don't, they like, nah, you know what I'm saying? That's too much, that these are just ways that you can get something started. You know what I mean? What'd you have for that, Lauren?
Nah, you hit it on the head when you made mention about it's still up to the owner on whether or not he wants to even do that, go into an endeavor like that with you. Because if I'm hiring you as an employee, I'm already up here. Mm-hmm. So you telling me now that I gotta come down to your level?
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm not taking nothing out of your check.
Right.
You take it out of your check and pay me. You know what I'm saying? Or you stack up.
Yeah, you can do it like that. You can do it like It's either you can agree to something to where you have something written down and say, I'll take this much, so it just make it that easy. Or like you said, or you pay into it and I'll make sure, there's something written out, documented. Like I said, there's different things that come into play.
They gotta be on the ground level.
Yeah.
Like that means like you one of my first, handful of hires, you know what I'm saying? Like once I'm up to a certain amount of hires, you know what I'm saying? Hire number 10 ain't gonna get ready to roll in and be like, yeah, man, shit, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, just take that shit. Nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because if I could hire 10 people, you know, you better be the sharpest hire I ever had. Out of my first 10, you better be the sharpest hire that I didn't brought on for me to even think about that. Now, other than that, I was gonna say another thing to think about. You know what I'm saying? Because you said everybody want to be a boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. That's real goddamn true. I've ran into situations, you know what I'm saying, where hell, I was working for somebody as a manager, and then they apply for a job, and I end up being a supervisor, and I hear them flapping their mouth in the break room talking about, you know what I'm saying, oh yeah, that's my cousin, you know what I'm saying, I can get away with shit that the rest of these motherfuckers can't. I'm like, no, you can get fired just like the rest of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what I was going to say though was, you know, think about investing. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe it's not that you want ownership, but maybe you just want stake. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe you say, hey man, you know, I like what you're doing. I want to buy some stock into your brand. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna give you 2,500 and I expect, you know, certain amount of return on investment within this period of time. You know what I'm saying? Would you agree to that? You know what I'm saying? Just a different thought, you know what I'm saying? Because one of the other things, you know, from an entrepreneurial standpoint is, you know, we don't really think about investing like that. We don't understand how to find out, you know, a business's profit margin and things like that to understand if they're worth investing in. And maybe you don't even really have to work that hard for your money. You know what I'm saying? You just go, hey, I'm gonna give you this. It ain't no different than fucking investing in the stock. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, motherfucking, you know, Clorox or whatever the fuck you want to invest in, whatever company you want to invest in. Maybe if you get on a you know, on the ground level or something to that degree, you know what I'm saying? Maybe your return on investment is gonna be a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I just wanted to approach that because while that doesn't quote unquote make you an entrepreneur, so to say, it does present you as a business person, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to do business. You know, I mean, they got employee stock options and that's great, but a lot of these publicly traded companies, you know, it's not employees investing in the business, you know what I'm saying? It's not the employee stocks, it's the other people that's coming in and dropping bigger amounts of money trying to get a bigger return on investment. That's why if you ever work for somebody and you hear them say, you know what I'm saying, the stockbrokers are expecting this, so we got to stop doing this. Otherwise, I ain't going to be able to pay them. You know what I'm saying? Because the stockholders ultimately run your brand. You know what I'm saying? Once you start introducing that shit, because the owner's working for the stockholders. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So just thought I want to throw out there.
And having the person, it's going to be hard. Having the person when it comes to doing your own independent thing, that's where it gets tricky. You're going to have to, you may have to develop a system just in case. Because let's say a person goes and starts, you know, and you got to set certain guidelines. It's just like Lauren said, you don't think a person can do whatever he wants to do. Will be like say, I may need you right here at this time. So it probably the best thing would be to, who knows, you know, go directly 50-50 unless you started directly with that person. Because let's say you start going 50-50 on everything and, you know what I'm saying, and he's not around. You know what I'm saying? How do you want to expand? And he's not reporting money and things like that. Now you got to start going, like I said, you won't be able to go under the table. Now you got to start, you know, you start going through, you know, credit, you know what I'm saying? Having stuff that's documented on computers and things like that. And to ask that, you know, when you start saying it's 50-50, are you going 50-50? Are you going to give over your ownership? Because you can give over 50-50, but whose name, you know, as the founder and the ownership and things like that, we be able to prove that. Because now if you start, if it gets to where he don't got to answer to you, for different things like that, you know, it starts to get tricky.
So you saying you can go halfsies with me, but we only going half on the profit. We ain't going half on the business decision.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Right.
that will have to be in the papers. All that stuff will have to be done in the papers. You know what I'm saying? I just
Right.
want to let everybody know that.
Oh, absolutely. But you'd be surprised, man. Like
he won't have to answer to you. He'll be off doing this thing, and you, where the fuck you at? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
if anything, come here. Need you right here, you know what I'm saying? Do this, you know what I'm saying? I'll send you over there. I got a job for you to go over to wherever West Bumblefuck, you know what I'm saying? Go take care of business out here. You may hire somebody else. I got a job for you, blah, blah, blah. And then you keep that contact, and I need you back here at this time. But a lot of people don't want to keep each other on a, so to say, leash like that. Like I said, everybody's got a job to play. And you got to protect yourself in many ways also. And, you just give it to you. Hey, we're all owners. Everybody, then you go like that, then you might as well. It still works. You can still do it. If it's all owners, you make it all owners. That means you don't have any jurisdiction of what the next man is doing. You don't have any jurisdiction. He runs his stuff. He'll be in LA and he'll be making his money, this and that. And then you'll be over here in New York, Kansas City, wherever you'll be making your money. You'll have your employees. So it's about, you got to make those type of distinctions about how you want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
too many chiefs, not enough Indians, you get top heavy.
Yeah. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians, you get top heavy. And like I said, they could be doing business over on this side that's shady. They could be laundering drug money through that motherfucker for all we know. And that'll ruin your reputation. So these are just things to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he won't have to answer to you because now y'all are on equal terms. So like I said, you could do 50-50 just off profit or ownership, 60-40, however you want to do it. And they buy into it. They may just give you the money off. But like I said, for a person that doesn't have that, but you see outstanding qualities in the person, this is what people, when you see outstanding qualities, but you like, oh, he ain't got no money. And present that to the person. This is for the owners. Present that to the person, and then they'll buy into it for however much they want to buy into. I want 30% of what you're getting. Okay, so invest 30% of what I know how much I took a tab on what I invested, or I could just give you any type of number. It's about how you want to do it. You pay this much, you'll get 30% of everything that I make, and you go from there. So this is the time to get independent. I hope y'all paying attention. This is the time to get independent. I hope y'all understand if we get out of this, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of, different speculation, different news going on. Like I said, quarantine could be locked down. Who knows? But, once this is over, don't go back to doing the same thing. Now it's time for you understand that I got to take as much control of my life as possible. I got to take as much control of my life as possible.
And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing I didn't learn, man, from this whole coronavirus is self-sufficiency. I don't care if it's, I grow my own fruits and vegetables or anything like that. Like, the more self-sufficient you can become, the more you ignore stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? You getting your money. You not depending on somebody else to cut you a check. You know what I'm saying? You either you out there making your own money. Cause I think about, you saw certain NBA players saying they gonna donate X amount of dollars to, the staff that's not able to work, and I mean the staff is freaking out right now because they like, man, I got mouths to feed. Yep. I can't not work. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have some money rolling in. And so for me, I'm like, man, I need to start getting my own money flowing in. I don't need to be like, oh man, shoot, man, they might close the doors at my job tomorrow. And then what am I gonna do? You at the beckoning call of somebody else. So that's one of the biggest things I've taken out of this is learn to be self-sufficient, learn to be independent, in order to put yourself in a position where you're not depending on somebody else. Because in a lot of ways, and I'm not saying everybody can do this because everybody can't be the boss. or everybody can't be a boss. Let me put it into that perspective. Everybody can't be a boss that's running shit. You know what I'm saying? But
for that particular organization.
Yeah.
You can do your own thing on the side. You know.
Yeah. But that's for me the biggest thing I've learned, man, is like, because I haven't thought about it much because I'm salaried. So, if I'm at home, you still gonna pay me, or you still gotta pay me. You know what I'm saying? But if I was hourly, I'd be like, man, if them fools could be like, well, yep, we're gonna have to close our doors for a little bit, and since we don't got no work for you, we're not gonna pay you. And that's scary. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm salaried. There's always work for me to do. You know what I'm saying? Just not in the office, but that's a scary thought to think, man, that they gonna quarantine the country. So that means you got to go 2 to 4 weeks without a check, possibly. That's a scary thought. You know what I'm saying? Like you rush into the store to buy food and stuff like that, and before the end of it's over, you ain't gonna have no money for lights. So y'all gonna be eating in the dark. You know what I'm saying? You're going to buy your toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have no money to go get a gallon of milk if you need some milk. You know what I'm saying? To cook with it and shit like that. Like it's this is all. I'm not saying it's all fear based because this is a real virus, but it is a fucking virus. You know what I'm saying? But it's everything outside of it that's got people in panic and hysteria and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all exposed. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't say it on the last podcast, I'm telling you on this podcast, we're all exposed, people. Don't think for 5 seconds that if you quarantine yourself in the house that you're not going to get exposed, because you've probably already been exposed in some capacity. You know
especially in chemical warfare. When you deal with chemical warfare, and then there ain't nowhere to run.
And then when they start, doing these drive-up clinics, you know what I'm saying, and things like that, the vaccinations and all that type of jazz, like just be careful, make solid intellectual decisions. Don't act, the kid's gonna be home for a month, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I gotta go buy this, you know what I'm saying, so that they have something to do. It's probably plenty of stuff from the little bucket heads to do in the house, you know what I'm saying. You ain't gotta go out and buy no new PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, invest in, things to entertain them while they at home. If you're going to make an investment, invest in something that's going to educate them, that's going to help them grow, not just keep them entertained so you don't have to do anything with them. Yep. Give them things to educate. I pulled out all my old workbooks for my kids, man. So I said, if they cancel school, good. I got grade level appropriate workbooks for all my kids. So you can cancel school. I know people freaking out here because my daughter in middle school, she got a Chromebook, so they can just download shit to the Chromebook and that should work. You know what I'm saying? But my younger school age kids don't have that. And I see people freaking out. Oh my God! I'm like, cancel school. It don't matter nothing to me. I teach them here. We are kids' first teachers anyway. And I got workbooks downstairs right now. I'd be like, open up to page 20, man. That's what we working on today. You know what I'm saying? Continue to educate. Because like I said, people panicking. I'm a kid going to be here. Corey, I was saying, some schools have already closed for the rest of the month of March and some have closed for April. You know what I'm saying? Already. And I'm, I hear people saying, I got to go buy stuff to keep them entertained. I'm like, nah, man, educate their asses while they're at home. You know what I'm saying? You might have to fix some of the brainwashing the schools done. Yep. You know what I'm saying? What are you saying?
This is the perfect time. This is the perfect time.
Yeah, man. So, back to the topic at hand, man, this is the time to go after what you want. You know what I'm saying? This is a capitalistic society. It's nothing wrong with trying to capitalize. If you have a talent, you can make money off of it, do it. Don't hold back. You know what I'm saying? Because especially as a race,
Tell that caddy you know.
Meow.
Playing with you. Playing with you. Joking.
But as a race, we are constantly living in a state of fear. You know what I'm saying? We constantly live in a state of fear, and it stymies us from really kind of branching out there and reaching out there, and we do have to find ways such as what my sister did to network, amongst at the very least a small group. I was thinking about, my family, and how many people in my family are just super duper talented, but they not doing nothing with their talents, and it takes a leader. You know what I'm saying? Ownership is about leadership. Understand that. You know what I'm saying? Ownership ain't about being a boss. It's about leadership. It's about being a person that wants to take the most risk. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. It's not about being a boss. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? That's the last thing you're thinking about as an owner. You know what I'm saying? Is being a boss. Owner takes the majority of the risk. You know what I'm saying? He invests the most in the brand and things of that nature. So understand that. That's a very, very important thing to understand. That, you can have a name tag that say owner, but there's a much more heavy responsibility that comes with being an owner than it is being an employee.
You got anything before we slide out, Randy?
Nah, man. Oh yeah, it was one thing. Oh, he dropped a gem. Lauren dropped a gem. Speaking about the emails. This is just something I want to leave y'all with. You know what I'm saying? This is the mad genius part. Man, emails, that can get you money. just look that up. But emails can get you money. Look it up. Thank me later. But Lauren dropped some gems. So, yeah. just look that up. Digital information, man. Oh, that can make you some money if you have the right number of emails. People look for that stuff. So just look it up.
And we ain't talking about what Hugh Jackman did in Swordfish, so don't get no ideas.
No. Yeah, so ready? What you got for us?
Yeah, I got shoot, we get it, man. We hope y'all learned something. Today. Stay vigilant. Stay vigilant and stay together. Rely on your neighbor just in case. You know what I'm saying? Just in case it gets rough or whatever. Stay vigilant, stay together, and we'll see y'all later.
If you need some toilet paper, I got some extra rolls.
Yeah. And with all that being said, man, this has been another episode of The Word on the Ave, man. Yeah, thank both of my brothers, man. Thank everybody that's been rocking with us from then till now. Thank everybody on the audio, visuals, man. We'll continue to keep doing this as long as we can, especially now that this virus is whatever. But yeah,
y'all gonna be in the house quarantine, so y'all better check out all the shit. All the shit.
Cause I'm just gonna say it now. You know what I'm saying? I want to give y'all flowers. Y'all some bad y'all some bad brothers, man.
Give y'all some. Oh, you talking about us? I was about to say. Yeah. I thought you was talking to the crowd. I was about to say, man, you can give them their flowers while they got a couple weeks to live. Like, nah, not us. Nah. Give them all their flowers while they got while everybody got a couple weeks left.
But no, yeah, I'm gonna give my brothers, man, they flowers, man. My boy Lauren, he doing his little speaking engagement things. You know what I'm saying? Lojo Speaks. Hey, I'm telling y'all, my boy working. That's all I'm gonna say. If he wants to expound on that, he can. But man,
enough said. That you hit it on the head. Your boy working.
And also, man, we got my boy Mr. Infamous, man, Corey Gilmore, man. Yo, grind don't stop, man. And I've seen it through the years, man. So just keep working, man. Everything's gonna pay off. But all that said, man, these some bad dudes. With all that, I'm out, man. Peace.